Yo, good evening. This week, another episode of Tommy and Pauly's Big Fight Forecast. We hope you guys have been enjoying the shows, the gambling talk. This show is all about the gambling side of boxing. Remember that all discussions are not gambling or betting advice or even investment advice. Everything we discuss here on Tommy and Pauly's Big Fight Forecast is strictly for entertainment purposes. So, Tommy, I'm Pauly Malignaggi. It's Tommy Rainone. Big week last week, man. We did all right. I thought we did all right. I think people are starting to like our content. It's just mine and yours is boxing gambling discussions. We just make
Discussions,
we just make it
opinion.
public and we just discuss. And I think there's a lot of low key boxing gamblers out there. That's what I think.
Yeah, and I told you I'll be
Going
reminding
pretty
you.
fast.
I told you I'd be reminding you this week that Fundora was going to beat Tim Zoo.
Yeah,
I
yeah, you
said we're
did,
going to
you
we
did, you did
rewind it.
remind me. You did remind me as a plus money. As a
Yeah,
plus money underdog, he got the win. I thought Joette could have also got the win over Figueroa last week. That was a close one.
close one. Yeah,
That was
yeah,
a close one as well. He was a big plus money underdog, and of course the big Pacquiao Barrios fight, the draw.
yeah,
I thought Vegas didn't want to pay out those Pacquiao tickets, man. I don't know. I thought Pacquiao could have got that decision.
yeah. You got to wonder. You got to wonder how much money Vegas would have lost if Manny got that
Think about
decision.
it. All the odds dropped a lot fight week. That means a lot of Pacquiao when he came in. The
Yes.
Filipino game in town, and they bet big on Pacquiao because
Yeah.
Pacquiao's odds dropped the week of the fight. So
It,
you gotta wonder for them to drop that much. There was a lot of Pacquiao money coming in. I
dude,
got a feeling, the conspiracy theorist in me, not to say that I know, but the conspiracy theorist in me wants to think that maybe they didn't want to pay out those tickets. I don't know, but a big week nonetheless. And we hope everybody enjoyed the discussions last week. This week, another week of boxing here on Tommy and Pauly's Big Fight Forecast. We have the big top rank card. Tentatively, it's supposed to be their last ESPN date. Tentatively. The reason I say tentatively is because they haven't really talked about it. This was supposed to be their last fight on the contract. They haven't really talked about it. So leads me to maybe wonder, did they low-key renew? Did they low-key make another deal? We'll find out. We'll see if they even talk about it this weekend. If they don't talk about it, I guess we'll be remaining in suspense. But let's get into it, man. This week, let's start. Actually, we got Clarissa Shields versus Lonnie Daniels. That is not on the top ranked card. That is a Salida Promotions card in Michigan.
the zone.
Clarissa Shields is from the state of Michigan, from Flint specifically. So she's got a main event. What weight is she fighting out here? I know she's been winning titles
She's back in.
classes.
Yeah, this is a title defense at heavyweight.
At heavyweight. Okay,
Yeah.
so Clarissa's just been basically clearing all the weight classes in the female division.
Well, yeah. I mean, you got all five of those girls at heavyweight, so they're all
Yeah,
on alert.
I guess it's an easy one to clear out, right? So she jumped up. What are the odds here? You got a minus 180 for a decision and plus 440 for a KO. And Clarissa's not really a KO artist, but a piece of me thinks she's so much better than these big chicks, big boned, so we call them. But she's so much better. She's like a different level. I mean, she's a lot better than the girls in her natural weight class too. But these big boned chicks these big boned women are so slow compared to her, and
Yeah, yeah.
obviously don't have the natural boxing acumen she has. I think are stoppages on the cards here, Tommy? What do we say? What are we looking at?
It's possible. I mean, listen, she fights for the stoppages. I mean, she has the intention that she wants to get rid of these girls. She throws punches with bad intention. She's not a big puncher, whether she wants
Do
to
you think
accept
the
it or
2 minute
not.
rounds have a difference there? Do you think if she had 3 minute rounds, she'd get the stoppages? You think that?
Paulie, I don't know because there are girls out there that have those knockouts on their resume. I mean, look at Amanda Serrano over the years. Yeah, the knockouts with Serrano stopped the last few years as she's declined as a fighter and gotten a little older. But Amanda Serrano has plenty of knockouts. So there are females out there that get the stoppages.
Mhm.
So yeah, I mean, obviously it's a lot easier.
And
to
if
get
you're not a one punch knockout artist, if you're what do they call it? Instead of one punch, it's a
accumulation.
yeah, accumulation stoppage type of person. The third minute in the round helps you.
Huge.
The
Yeah,
the 2 minute rounds. If you're a woman who gets stoppages in 2 minute rounds, you're probably a one punch knockout artist, right?
yeah.
In the third minute, it probably helps the accumulation type of fighters. And Clarissa puts punches together, so I think that she could probably. I'm sure several of these women who, especially the dominant ones like her, could probably get more stoppages in a 3 minute round. But what do we got here with her and Daniels? What do you think, Tommy?
Daniels, Daniels is not bad. I mean, she's not bad from the first I've seen her. She's 11-2. She only has one KO herself. So we're not talking about a couple of.
And she's probably not active in there, right? I mean, in big heavyweights usually
Surprisingly, Paulie,
Uh-huh.
from what I've seen of her, she actually fights aggressive with her hands down, has a little bit of slickness to her. So she actually,
Aggressive with the hands down. Usually you're on the back foot with the hands down. She comes forward with the hands down.
correct, from a couple of fights that I watched on her. Yeah, she's capable. I mean, is she a killer? No.
Clarissa's hand speed is going to catch that. Come on. No,
Counter shots, walk her into shots. Yeah.
So what do you think?
Shields won the fight. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. I mean, Shields is head and shoulders above all these girls, like you said. Now it's just a matter of when she fights, do these girls go the 10-round distance with her or not? This particular fight, Pauly, I'm going with the -180. I think this girl does go the distance with her. I might put an outside bet, a secondary bet in there for a late stoppage. I got to check what the odds would be on that.
7-12.
Well, it's a 10-round fight. They fight 10 2-minute rounds. But maybe I would do something like 7 through 10 and see what kind of odds I would get on that. Just an accumulation type thing, a corner pulling the plug or the referee seeing enough. But this girl is capable. I mean, she could fight. But again, she's never been there with somebody like Clarissa Shields. There's very little competition in that division. And she's a little up there in age herself. I think she's about 36 years old or so. Yeah.
So you're angling towards
the Shields decision.
The Shields decision. Okay.
I think this girl might be just busy enough and aggressive enough and
big enough, right? Because Shields has to be careful. These girls are bigger, right? So
yeah, listen, at the end of the day, Shields is a boxer. Let's not get that twisted. So at the end of the day, Shields is always going to be defensively responsible. She's very slick in there. She got good defense, but it's the mind, Pauly. She's not looking to get smashed in the face. So if she has a girl is gonna come to win and fight hard every round, she still has to worry about the incoming. So I think this girl will be just busy enough and just aggressive enough to maybe go those 10 rounds. Yeah.
Okay, but Shields to win.
Shields to win our decision.
All right, so no shot of an upset here.
No shot of an upset. No.
Okay, all right. Let's move on to the ESPN card, Tommy. Jan Carlos Santana. Is that am I saying this guy's name right?
Yes.
Juan, it's Jan.
Jan, yeah, from Dominican Republic. Republic, real good prospect.
They straighted out the Juan for the Jan. All right, I got you.
Yeah.
14-0, 12 knockout. So he's seems like a good puncher. I don't know what his level of opposition has been like, but he's fighting Aaron Alameda, who's 30-2 with 17 KOs and never been stopped. So you got a guy who's got almost all exclusively wins by knockout against a guy who's 30-2 and never been stopped.
And Alamanda is aggressive. Alameda. The thing with him is that you can get off on him. He tends to cover up where you can get off 3, 4, 5 punch combinations and get out. I think Santana is going to be aggressive. He's been aggressive throughout. He's always going to look for the knockout. But now that his competition is starting to step up, he just went 10 rounds for the first time, and I'm leaning in that direction again. I think this guy's gonna give him a fight. Actually, I think that.
So do you think it's Santana by decision, or do you think it's just a fight that goes the distance?
I think it's a fight that goes the distance, but no, I like Santana for the decision. I definitely like Santana for the decision.
It'll get better odds. What's the odds on Santana by the decision?
You know what, Pauly, as of this morning, it's probably up by now. That was the one prop bet that I did not see. So the money line was -550.
Okay, but by decision, I would imagine get you a couple of points extra.
You know what? I'm going to tell you right. I'm going to check right now, Pauly, because that.
What about for the fight to go to distance?
Again, they only had the money line as of this morning. So I'm thinking right now when I check. Sometimes
these lines come out last minute. Some of these lines.
A lot of them came out just last minute this morning. So I'm thinking it might actually be plus money, and I'll let you know in 2 seconds here.
Really, plus money for the distance, despite a guy couldn't stop.
Plus money for him to win by decision is what I'm thinking. I'll tell you right now. Vargas. There he is. So we went up to -650.
Wow. So
here we are. So he is, like I said, Pauly, plus 125 for the decision.
Plus 175 for the decision against a guy who's never been stopped, but he's -650 on the money line. I'm thinking the odds makers could be dropping it there. No.
They might be dropping in 2 directions, Pauly, because he's plus 115 for the stoppage. So you're getting plus money either way. Yeah.
Yeah. That's interesting. Okay. So you get plus money. So, now you're looking at, again, we here at Tommy and Pauly's Big Fight Forecast, we like to discuss the parlay options for anybody that's been watching. So parlays, you got to obviously learn how to build your own parlay. We discuss what we like. But then building a parlay is an art in and of itself. And, basically what we talk about is just what we like. And Tommy builds his own parlays. Sometimes he'll build them in various different ways. But, sit down and look over his picks and do one parlay one way, one parlay another way. And that's the way it is. But, whenever you get some plus money odds on a parlay, it obviously expands the overall odds of a parlay nicely. So Santana, by decision, and the fight to go the distance in general, is plus money. Well, not but fight to go to distance in general is not plus money. Fight to go to distance in general is plus money or no?
No, that's going to be slightly negative. But for him to win, and I'm expecting
Santana by decision, which is looks on paper looks pretty solid because Alameda's never been stopped. You know?
Yeah, so any direction you're going to go in, even if you like him by stoppage, you want to start out with the plus 115 odds. I mean, it's
Yeah,
not a big difference. Plus 125, plus 115.
yeah, yeah,
You're,
yeah,
anytime you're starting out with plus odds,
yeah,
then you can stack
yeah,
on a couple of fights, whether it's going to be like Bruce Carrington or Zayas or Shields, whoever it's going to be that we talk about
yeah,
today.
yeah, yeah,
You're going to end up with very good plus odds.
yeah.
So it really comes down to with someone like Santana, who I favor in this fight, whether he gets the stoppage or he gets the decision. But this is one of those rare cases where either
This
way,
would be one of those. You said he just went the distance when he started stepping up in class, right?
yes, yeah. His last fight he went 10 rounds
And
the first time.
Alameda's never been stopped, and he's 30-2 with 17 knockouts himself. So this would look like maybe as the level of opposition is rising, Santana
Exactly.
may have some trouble getting the stoppage. Obviously, if you get a stoppage here in this fight, it would be a major statement. But it looks like basically the direction he's going in seems like this would be a distance fight.
Correct. And a lot of those fights.
Obviously, keep in mind that the casinos screw you if you get a technical decision, and it doesn't. And it goes technically that's not a distance fight. They take away your money or no, or
Well,
by this or no. If you bet them by decision, you still get the money.
You'll still get the money that way.
If you bet the fight to go to distance and it goes to a technical decision, you do not get the money.
Correct.
Well, you don't get credit for the stoppage either. They just take your money.
Yeah, they just take your money. It's not going to wash.
So technical decision, they just wash you either way.
Yeah, the casino wins. But
so you got to be careful with the casino trickery there.
yeah, but with Santana, a lot of his those knockout wins, yes, 14-0 with 12 knockouts is shiny and it sounds nice and it looks nice. But a lot of those stoppages, those early fights were in the Dominican Republic. So I don't got to tell you what competition.
A couple of freebies, yeah, a couple of
Yeah.
freebies. All right, let's move on to the next one. This is also on the ESPN card, right? Rohan Polanco, 16-0, 10 KOs. Versus
Yes, but
Randall.
Paul, the official prediction, at least for me for now, the official prediction is Santana by decision. I like him by decision.
You like him by decision?
Start off at that plus 125.
Yeah, you like that one. Yeah, that looks good. Looks good. Okay, Rohan Polanco versus Quinton Randall. Rohan Polanco, 16-0, 10 knockouts. Quinton Randall, 15-2 and 1 draw with 3 KOs. So not a lot, not big punchers, Randall. What do you like here, Tommy?
Interesting fight. Polanco, another one of those guys. He's stepping in the right direction because Randall's a capable guy. But the thing with Randall is that he's a bit of a slickster. He has a decent jab, but he's not a busy guy. He's defensively minded. These are the kind of guys that tend to lose.
He's just a spoiler, but he can't win at a high level because typically a slickster who's not busy typically is the kind of guy who doesn't win once he step up.
Correct. And he's got those two losses were both close decision losses when he stepped up in competition, exactly as you said. And he's not a big puncher. So
is Polanco a step up?
Polanco's definitely a step up. Yeah, Polanco for him is Is Polanco a step up for him? A slight step up. Let me see if you're familiar with the two names that he fought. But his 2 fights that he lost, they were both close decisions. But from the footage that I saw, I mean, he lost in one-sided fashion for the most part. He's going to go out there. He's going to put up an effort. But the volume decreases each round. He gets more defensive.
So basically, he's one of these guys who may spoil it a little, maybe a spoiler in a way, but just is happy not to get knocked out if he's out.
Oh, here we go. Norman Jr. So that's what I watched last night. There you go.
Oh, Brian Norman.
Yeah. Norman Jr. Yes, so for Brian Norman Jr.
And he went the distance.
He went the 10-round distance. So that gives him credibility in and of itself right there.
As far as not being able to be stopped.
Yeah. Shows you he's a capable guy. And then his follow-up fight, he lost a decision to a 16-0 guy. So both of those losses to undefeated guys. And then he kind of went right back to fighting that mediocre competition, guys that were 3-13 and 20. So
ironically, Polanco 16-0 himself right now, right? Going into this fight.
Correct. And Polanco's an aggressive guy. He's a boxer puncher, but he's a very aggressive guy. So he's going to look to get rid of Randall. So I see Randall going into defensive mode by round 3-4, moving around the ring, not throwing a lot of punches. Very hard guy to get rid of. Don't even know if he's ever been dropped. And he had some moments against Norman Jr. And Norman Jr., as we know, is getting better by the fight. And that was not too long ago that Randall fought him about 2-3 fights ago. So to go that's a badge of honor right there to be competitive to a degree with a guy like Norman Jr. Mm-hmm. So I like Polanco. The distance here, the decision is a minus 140. So again, situation where you use whatever parlays you want to use. But if you're going with a Santana decision where you're starting off with plus odds at 125, then you Polanco, I'm sorry. No, Santana.
And then Polanco.
And then you throw on Polanco with the minus 140. You're probably looking at close to
maybe even Clarissa, right? Clarissa seems a pretty strong bet, right?
Yeah, but even if you just take her on the money line, that's just going to add a cherry on top. But then you're right in the ballpark of
Yeah,
minus three.
yeah. Then you don't have to really risk with Clarissa. You just take on the money line. You don't even risk it.
Exactly. Don't get greedy. Or switch it up. Put a couple of different parlays out there. Go for the decision by all means, 3 ways. But put in 2 decisions in 1 money line because Clarissa is not going to lose. That's not going to happen. Yeah. And I don't see Palano losing this fight either. I think Randall's going to be competitive early. He's going to try early, but he's going to almost probably settle into that opponent mode. And I think
that's what he seems like. A slickster typically, in order to be successful at world-class level, has to be busy. Otherwise, he just gets labeled as a spoiler if he's not busy in the ring, right? So a slickster who's not busy, it's typically the case is tough to just get stoppage against, and you can beat him on points just by working him. So I can see I can imagine, how this fight could evolve into that kind of fight. So Polanco by decision is what you like here.
Correct.
Yeah. All right, let's move on, man. Get into the nitty gritty, the big part of the card now. Bruce Carrington, who is closing in on a world title shot himself. This is for, you saying, a WBC interim title. So
this is for a WBC interim.
Getting close now. He's fighting Mateus Heita of Namibia.
How they got this guy ranked? How they got this guy ranked, I'll never know.
Yeah, well, with some of these guys, they get them from third world countries. Some of them sometimes they wind up knowing how to fight, and sometimes you wonder why they got them in the first place, right? Yeah. It's 14-0 9 knockouts. So on paper, they have a similar record because Carrington's 15-0 9 knockouts. Heita's 14-0 9 knockouts. Obviously, Carrington coming in with more fanfare, more notoriety. Has been relatively impressive in his career. I say relatively because sometimes he's been very impressive, and then he's had 1 or 2 performances where you're asking some question marks. But Carrington, I think, is a maturing fighter, maturing individual in general. I think he's a mature kid, and with a big upside to him. So what are you thinking here? How are we looking with Carrington and Heita? Because also Carrington, 9 KOs and 15 wins. You say, okay, he's not a huge puncher. But we've seen him get some nice knockouts. We've seen him get some really impressive stoppages.
And we've also seen him struggle a couple of fights back.
He did struggle. Yeah.
A couple of fights back.
Do we know enough about Heita to be able to say, oh, he's going to struggle with Heita? I mean, what do we know about this guy, Heita?
That was the one, Solomon Segawa. Yeah. He struggled in that fight mightily. He struggled in that fight. He won a majority 10-round decision. And you know what? Here's a couple of just interesting things to keep in mind with this particular fight is that Carrington has only been the 10-round distance that one time, right there.
What about Heita?
One time himself, but he's been 12 rounds. He's been 12 rounds. That was his last fight. So he went 12. Carrington has only been that 10-round distance once. So they're moving Carrington into this fight. Like I said, Pauly, this particular fight, it's for an interim title. How they position this, politics of boxing. But Carrington is essentially an 8-round fighter.
Who is the WBC full interim champion and featherweight? Is it Espinosa, the tall guy?
Let me check if it is Espinosa.
Is it him?
Yeah, there you go. Rafael Espinosa at 1 and Nick Ball. And you got Fulton. Let's not forget about Fulton.
Well, Nick Ball's WBA champion, no?
Yeah. So Rafael is the WBC, and then I'm just talking about your 3 sharks in the water.
Yeah.
At this point, Paul, with these belts, I mean, I just kind of.
They're all solid matchups, man. You give me Espinosa versus Carrington or Ball or even Rabasi's kind of hanging around.
You got Angelo Leo there. You got Figueroa there. Last week. No, there's guys in that division.
The Kameda who Leo just beat Kameda is still solid,
Which is why I said for them to position Carrington for this interim title with who you got at the top of the division, meaning that he's only fought 1 10-rounder. He's never been 12 rounds. Essentially,
he's still an 8-round fighter. He's still a prospect / contender. Impressive, but he's not really ready for the championship picture in your mind.
No, and they got him the perfect guy because if I'm pronouncing his name right again, because neither one of us are familiar with this guy.
From Namibia.
He's only been that 12-round distance once. It was never been outside of his own home country, and that was in his last fight. So you got essentially a couple of novice guys fighting for an interim title here. But I don't see this fight just the same. I don't see this fight going the distance, actually.
You don't see this fight going the distance?
I don't. I actually see a stoppage in the cards one way or the other, but obviously I would lean towards Carrington for the stoppage. Maybe even the first half.
You just lean towards fight not going the distance then? Is that like a more of a key, or do you pick Carrington to get by?
No, I'm going to go with Carrington for the stoppage here. I'm going to go with Carrington stoppage because, I mean, listen, pedigree-wise, he's levels above. Obviously.
He's got more fanfare, the big promoter behind him.
Yeah.
The momentum.
Been fighting on the big stage. He's been fighting on the big cards. This moment is not going to eat him up. And like you said, the fanfare, the hometown advantage. He's a New York guy. And this guy's leaving his country for the very first time. He's aggressive. He had from the footage that I saw of him. There's not a lot of footage on him, but again, keep in mind the competition that he's fighting in his homeland.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, but you know, again, this is a strange fight that these guys are fighting a 12 rounder for
yeah,
an interim title when one guy's never been 12, the other guy's only been 12 once. They
yeah.
don't really even have any 10
And,
round
and with
fights.
the level of competition that is in the weight class, there is guys who are more prepared for this kind of fight.
Yeah, and you got a lot of sharks in the water that weight class, you know. So it's kind of this is kind of a gimme title, if you will,
Yeah,
for Carrington
we
here.
we can't really count interim titles as titles, but it puts you in the
I
picture
don't. I
for maybe
personally don't.
maybe a mandatory situation soon. You know,
Yeah,
stepping in maybe against Espinosa. Top rank has Espinosa, right? Because he beat Rabasi. So you
yeah,
could see Carrington position. If Carrington, I'm thinking with top rank, the way they move their fighters, there. If Carrington wins impressively, or he's got to win impressively, I think they move him in with the Espinosa fight. You know, they're ready to make that fight, right?
possibility. But Espinosa is a dangerous man. I mean, that's a big step up, Pauly. Big
It is,
step.
but what do you do after the interim title? You just keep defending the interim title? What do you do? Yeah,
Try and get that experience. I mean, it depends how high top rank are on Carrington. Do you want to get him
yeah,
more experience where he gets a few 12 rounders under his belt and gets to fully
yeah,
mature as a fighter? Because
yeah.
again, I look at him as an 8 round fighter right now.
I mean, Rabasi's still there too, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
He ex-title challenger. That's not an easy. I mean, that would be a non-title fighter. He's not easy to deal with, you know. So I mean, yeah, I guess we'll see which way it goes. So you like Carrington by stoppage here,
Yeah.
on this one again.
And
So
here,
now we're starting. Now people are starting to see the way your mind works with a parlay. You know, a little bit here, a little bit there. You got to figure out how to build it. Obviously, too many legs to a parlay becomes very risky, even if you like all the picks. So it's smart to make small, smart parlays the way we're thinking anyway. You know, but and then
oh,
of course building that parlay the correct way. That's the art. We pick
correct. And
all the
also,
fights, but then the art is what are you going to put together? You know.
also not getting too greedy. I mean, I'm never too comfortable putting too many prop bets out there. Decision, stoppage, decision, because, well, again, one thing goes wrong, your whole parlay is gone.
Yeah. So
So I
sometimes
put
you
it,
go money line. Like
yeah,
Clarissa, maybe you put her in a parlay just on money line.
correct, because Clarissa is going to win any which way. And like going back to Polanco, you know, I mean, that's an interesting. Was it Polanco? Oh, I'm sorry, Santana. That's an interesting one because again, you're going to start out with those plus odds either way. So you
Yeah.
might even want to do almost like a throwaway pitch in baseball, Paulie. You have a throwaway punch in boxing. Sometimes I'll have a throwaway bet where I'm starting off with plus odds on both guys,
Mhm.
but I can build that into huge plus odds, right?
Mhm.
So if I'm starting off with Polanco, I'm sorry, not Polanco. I keep saying Polanco, Santana. So if I'm starting off on the decision at plus 125, and I got
Mhm.
the KO also at plus 115, I throw three reliable legs on, and one or two of those are prop bets. I could be at plus 450 on both bets, right?
So you'll throw one and one, and then just so you covered on both of them with the other three reliable legs on the same.
Yes, and one's gonna hit
That's
and
the
one's
art of
not
building
gonna
a
hit.
parlay, sure.
Yeah,
Yeah, because you're risking less, and then they'll still add up with more.
but
All right,
this Carrington fight, the odds for the stoppage, which is what I like here, but the odds
mhm.
for the stoppage are not great. I mean, so
Yeah.
uh,
Mhm.
uh, plus 625, plus 650. I'm
Mhm.
sorry, minus 625. Those are not great odds.
Yeah.
So in that situation, you want to dig even deeper, Paulie, and maybe go through the channel of a stoppage 1 through 6 or 7 through 12 to get the better odds.
Yeah.
You'll get much better in odds
Yeah.
in that direction.
And
That's
also keep in mind the live bet, right?
of course.
Live bet.
So
You
that's
see the way
and
a
that's
fight starts out, and you start to say, "Yeah, I like it this way. I like it this way." Sometimes the live betting, some fights it becomes easier to live bet them.
and this particular fight with Carrington, that's a good point, Paulie. This particular fight is a perfect situation for live bet because you're going to see how this guy's responding to the incoming after 2-3 rounds. And you say to
Yeah.
yourself, "There's no way this guy's going 12 rounds," or you say to
Or
yourself, "This guy's capable. This guy's going to be dangerous.
yeah,
Carrington's going to have to respect
gotta
his
see the cue.
power and his skill set." So that's the kind of bet. If you that's the kind of thing. Yeah, I'll do a live bet on that one. I like the thought of that. I'm going to keep that in mind.
Mhm.
And again, you can't win a lot of money with the KO either way. The only way you're going to make money in that fight is with the decision. So you have to put the bet for a stoppage, a group betting, where you're going to say this is going to be 1 through 6, 7 through 12, or
Mhm.
maybe 4 through 6, or 7 through 9. So
Okay.
yeah, if I'm in a live bet situation, which is what I'm going to do with this particular fight, I'll feel it out by the second, third round. I feel like I should know what's going on, and then I'll put a stoppage 4 through 6 or something like that.
Nice. All right. Main event on the ESPN card. Xander Zayas versus Jorge Garcia Perez. This is a tougher fight than people think, man.
You're easy, not a gimme for your first world
Zayas,
title.
the problem is Zayas has been a very good prospect, almost a can't miss prospect, very highly rated. But this weight class, man, this weight class is, you talk about sharks in the featherweight division. This weight class has the most dangerous of all sharks, and it's got a ton of them. So even a guy like Jorge Garcia Perez, who isn't even that known in comparison to some of the monsters in this weight class, still a freaking tough fight for a what is it? Is this a vacant title? This is the one of the titles
WBO. Yeah,
that
yeah.
Pandora
Yes.
vacated.
Correct.
Xander Zayas, 21-0, 13 KOs. Jorge Garcia Perez, 33-4. What is it, 28 KOs or 26 KOs?
26 KOs.
Never been stopped.
Never been stopped. And Pauly, he's been in there with world class competition. He's fought for the world title, actually, I believe twice. Listen, I've been high on Zayas from day one, though. He was originally, when they were moving Berlanga, when Top Rank was moving Berlanga, that's where I first came across Zayas, seeing him fight on the Berlanga undercards. And right away, my first thought, Pauly, was they're moving the wrong Puerto Rican fighter here. Because I like Zayas from second one. I thought that, you know, but he doesn't do anything particularly flashy. There's not huge power. There's not huge speed. But I see the boxing IQ, the calmness, the poise. And I saw that when he only had 6
promotability. He's very promotable.
And yeah, you know what, Paul? He's a humble guy. He's humble.
Mature.
He's well spoken. Yes,
humility is one thing, but he's mature too.
Yeah, there's a lot to like about Zayas. There really is. Now, Jorge Garcia Perez, a lot of experience. A lot of the experience is coming out of Mexico, though, Paul. So you got to keep that in mind. But you know what? This guy I'm not familiar with, which is Atani Michael Williams, who was undefeated to beat him in his last fight, his last loss, which was in 2023. So that was a split, and that was a 10-round split against an 11-0 fighter. He fought Carlos Ocampo, who's a good fighter, 27-1. So he's lost to good fighters, but he also, Paulie, this is what stands out on the record. He lost to a 15-19, a 14-3. These are, again, split decisions, Paulie. So he's always competitive. He's always live. But
what makes him dangerous for Zayas?
Aggression, punches. He's a good puncher. He can punch. And he believes in himself. He's gonna fight you for 12 rounds. So Zayas would be well advised not to trade with this guy and fight this guy's fight. Because Zayas is a capable boxer. I don't see Zayas really inflicting a lot of damage on Perez from a punching perspective, breaking him down.
Could he get Rocky? Could he get Rocky for him?
Could he get Rocky for Zayas?
Yeah,
I expect this fight to be very competitive. He's going to have to separate himself the second half of the fight. I'm expecting a very competitive
fight.
But
here's the thing, right? This guy's never been stopped. The fight goes the distance. Even if it's close, it's a top-ranked card. This is top-ranked golden child. Anything close probably goes to Zayas, right?
Of course.
Maybe even if it's not close, it goes to Zayas.
It could. I mean, listen, they've invested a lot of time, money, and effort in this guy, yeah. But listen, I like Zayas, Paulie. I really like Zayas. Again, I mean, is he the next coming of Miguel Cotto? No, but he's cut from a different cloth where we're used to these huge superstar Puerto Rican fighters with Trinidad, with Cotto, and they were trying to promote Berlanga as that next guy, and obviously Top Rank went in a different direction. You can't
fit a square peg into a round hole. It's either there or it's not.
Yeah, so Top Rank chose to go with Zayas instead. They got rid of Berlanga while Berlanga was still an undefeated prospect, and they chose to put their money and time and invest in Zayas. Yeah. And Zayas been moved well, but you know what? I see the total package in Zayas, but he doesn't have those glaring special effects. You know, that's the thing. He's not eye candy, Paulie, but he does everything well. And what I love about him,
in this weight class, you can get lost behind all the other guys now if you don't have something special.
Absolutely. But what I love about, I mean, yeah, we just saw Fundora. I mean, you watch a guy like Fundora, forget about the dimensions. The guy's a buzzsaw, Paulie. The guy throws 100 punches around. The gas tank is always full. He's going to catch your eye more than a guy like Zayas is going to.
Yeah. But then you got also, you got Virgil Ortiz. You got these Russians that are like sharks everywhere. Murtaz Aliyev, Bohachuk.
Is it incredible that Tim Tszyu was at the top of that weight class just a little over? He's got 3 losses, 2 stoppages now. He's an afterthought now.
Cautionary tale.
Yeah, cautionary tale, boy. And I mean, I was favoring him over Charlo. I mean, I thought that he was gonna. I was favoring him over Charlo.
In his moment, he might have been.
Yeah. But let's not. Jorge Garcia Perez is a very capable guy, Paul. He's gonna come to win. Chances are this is his one and only world title shot here from here on out. Dangerous puncher, aggressive guy. The thing with him, which is where I want to see Zayas use his boxing IQ, his composure, his relaxation, is that with Perez you could outbox this guy, but you can't get greedy. You'll get off. You can get off. He'll cover up, and you can get off 3, 4, 5 shots. But you know what? Then you got to take an angle and go back to the jab. And that's where I expect Zayas to show that boxing IQ, that composure, that relaxation. The only chance that I give Perez is if he could turn into a dogfight. If this turns into an inside fight, that's not going to be, for Zayas' advantage. Zayas needs to box this guy and be very careful. Zayas has also never been 12 rounds, Paulie. Keep that in mind.
Yeah.
So this is as you said last week, this is a banana peel type fight. This is a I like that term. This is a dangerous fight. They're not giving this guy his first world title.
Well, you like it on a prop for the fight to go to distance. You like it on Zayas on points. Both.
I'm going to go in this direction. Let's get creative here. Zayas, I don't see Zayas stopping this guy. If Zayas stopped Perez, that'd be
Yeah.
a huge statement, right? Huge statement. And that's, you're talking about plus 330 odds, Pauly. The bookmakers see it the same way. Plus 330 for the stoppage. So realistically, I see Zayas winning by decision. But what happens if he gets clipped on the chin here? I think that Perez is a very live underdog here. So Zayas has to win on points and be very careful. He's never been 12 rounds before.
Is there a prop bet of Zayas to get up off the canvas?
I didn't look into that yet. That's a thought. You know, you like that. You keep bringing that up. That's not a prop bet that I go with a lot, but that's something to look into. That's something to look into.
Something to discuss. All right, and bonus coverage here on Big Fight Forecast. Emiliano Vargas is on this card, right?
Yes.
Vargas against Alexander Espanos. Espanos is a 20-3 with 9 KOs or something like that. 23 and with 3 losses, 1 draw. Emiliano has been making waves. A prospect jewel type of prospect under the Top Rank banner. Not just because he's a very good fighter and a very good prospect, but also because he's got the Vargas pedigree and he's fighting for a son. So what do we got here for this fight?
Well, yeah, there's a cherry on top. So you know what? If you want to just stick with the money line, I mean, listen, Vargas is going to win. That's for sure. Vargas wins the fight, but there's not a lot of value there. It's minus 1,500, but he's going to win the fight. So similar to a Clarissa Shield situation.
Just throw on a parlay among other picks.
Yeah. So again, be creative. You know, that's why I put out various parlays where I'll do all prop bets and maybe a money line or two. But in a situation like this where you have 3 fights here, really 4 fights.
Yeah, you already got a 3 or 4 fight parlay. You had Emiliano on the money line. It doesn't cost you anything. You know, it just adds one small leg to it, and it's
as well as Shields. If you want to go in the direction, I mean, listen, you can start your parlay off with Shields by decision, right? And then you can go on the money line with a lot of the other picks that I gave, or you can go with something like Zayas by decision. And then again, maybe you use a second prop bet. Maybe you say, I like Palano for the decision as well. Now you can have real good odds. Don't get greedy.
Don't go prop everywhere. You got some of that. You got to stick with a money line, because that's the thing with a parlay. You got a lot of legs to it. Sometimes just keep it simple, right? That's what we like to do.
Yes, keep it simple, stupid, right?
Yep, exactly.
But so Emilio, that's a cherry on top. Do I lean for the stoppage? Absolutely. So I mean, again, I'll put a couple of parlays where I'll include him. I'll use the money line on the more lucrative ones where I'm investing a little more money. On the smaller ones where I want to build up bigger odds, I'll use it for the stoppage. Yeah. And there wasn't even prop bets out this morning for a stoppage or a decision. But again, I think it's going to be a situation very similar to Carrington, where even Emilio for the stoppage, you're not going to get great odds. It'll probably be something like minus 500.
Yeah.
So again, I'll do one for the stoppage, and I'll do the money line. It's just the cherry on top.
Add it into a parlay with other legs already.
Yeah.
All right, man. That's this week's Tommy and Pauly's Big Fight Forecast. That's remember, everything we discuss is not gambling or betting or investing advice. It's strictly for entertainment purposes. But we like these discussions, and we like to let people in on them a little bit. It's there's a big gambling scene in boxing and sports today. And sometimes the discussions, people get curious, and we appreciate everybody tuning in last week. We got some good amount of viewers considering we're a new show. Like, subscribe, keep supporting us, and let us know what you think of the picks. Keep commenting, and we'll see you next week. This has been Tommy and Pauly's Big Fight Forecast.